Welcome to the Moon. Well, almost. Welcome to the Moon is a flip and write game with 8 adventures which can be played independently or successively in a campaign mode. Welcome to the Moon has standard rules that apply to all the adventures and also specific rules for each of them. Let's start with the standard rules. Shuffle the starship cards and split them into 3 draw piles of 21 cards, number face up. Each player takes an adventure sheet and a dry erase marker. For the missions, follow the campaign book, or else, if you don't play in a campaign, take the mission cards A, B and C of that particular adventure. Each turn is made up of 5 phases. 1. Flip 3 starship cards. At the beginning of each turn, the top card of each draw pile is flipped and placed in front of its pile, action face up. You get 3 new number action combinations. When the draw piles are empty, shuffle the discard piles separately in order to create 3 new draw piles. 2. Pick and write down a number. Every player picks simultaneously and individually one of the 3 available combinations, which can be the same as another player or not. You must write down the number of the combination you picked in an empty space of the marking area of your adventure sheet. These spaces are grouped into different zones depending on the adventure you are playing. In each zone, the numbers must be placed in ascending order from the lowest number to the highest number. A number can never appear twice in the same zone. In a zone, you can leave as many empty spaces as you wish between 2 numbered spaces, then fill them later on as long as you keep respecting the ascending order. Likewise, you can skip some numbers, for instance, put an 8 just after a 6. If you can write down a number, you must do it. If not, then you must cross off one system error box and you cannot perform any action this turn. 3. Use the action. Once your number is written down, you can, but you don't have to, use the action of the combination. You will perform the same 6 actions in all adventures, but in different ways depending on the adventure you're playing. Here is the general description for each action. The robot action allows you to connect, build or explore different parts. The water and plant actions allow you to collect resources and earn points, but only if you write the number in specific spaces. Energy action allows you to improve other actions or their value. The astronaut action allows you to modify the value of the number of the chosen combination before you write it down by adding or subtracting 0, 1 or 2. The planning action allows you to fill in an additional space with an X on the same turn beside the space in which you have written down the number of your combination. The spaces filled up with an X are also considered numbered spaces. 4. Incidents. After performing an action, there could possibly be an incident phase. The effects or consequences that can be triggered during the different adventures are resolved at this moment. Accomplish a mission. The 3 mission cards are objectives that have been given to you by the Human Alliance. The first players to fulfill, during the same turn, the requirements of the mission can accomplish it. They write the highest value of the mission card in the corresponding A, B or C space on their sheet. Then the mission card is flipped on the mission accomplished side. From now on, those who accomplish a mission in a future turn will only get its lowest value. You can only accomplish each of the 3 missions once during the game. When you have accomplished a mission, you keep the points you earned, even if you do not meet the requirements anymore later on. Apart from specific endgame conditions specified in the adventure rules, the game ends if one of the players has accomplished all 3 missions, or crossed off all the system error boxes, or filled in all the spaces of the marking area. If you wish to play in a campaign mode and you do not want to have the story spoiled, stop this video and go back to it when the campaign will tell you to. Adventure 5: The Dome. Thanks to your efforts, the colony is growing strong. You must now build the capital city of the moon. On your sheet are skyscrapers whose foundation plunge deeply under the lunar surface, and a research tower fully dedicated to research on lunar plants and water supply, all under a huge dome protecting everyone from cosmic radiation. The scoring zone is underneath. Each skyscraper is a zone made up of different levels, spaces that you must number in ascending order from bottom to top. The first number that you write down in each skyscraper has to be placed in one of the two starting levels: the first level above the lunar surface or the first level below the surface. Afterwards, you have to place a number in a level adjacent to an already numbered space directly above or below it. The first players to reach the highest or lowest level of a skyscraper can circle the highest bonus of this level. The other players must immediately cross off this highest bonus on their sheet and can now only earn the lowest bonus for this level. Water and plant action. Both actions work in the same way. Some skyscraper levels are connected to the same levels of the water and plant research tower. With a water or plant action, you can circle a water or plant symbol in the level of the tower connected to the skyscraper level where you just have written the number of your combination. Astronaut action. The astronaut action allows you to modify the value of the number of the chosen combination before you write it down: -2, -1, 0, +1, +2. Moreover, cross off one astronaut symbol in the scoring area. Robot action. This action allows you to build a section of the dome. To do that, draw one section of the dome according to the following rules. You can only build one of the two sections at the surface level or one section adjacent to an already built section. Moreover, each section has a requirement. A section with one circle at each end is an odd section type. A section with two circles at each end is an even section type. If the number of your combination that you have just written down is even, you can only build an even section type. Likewise, with an odd number, you can only build an odd section type. Planning action. The planning action speeds up the construction of the skyscrapers, but slows down the construction of the dome. The planning action allows you to fill in a level with an X in addition to the number of your combination, either one of the two starting levels of a skyscraper or a level adjacent to an already numbered level. In addition to that, with a line, you must cut in half one unbuilt section of the dome of your choice. This way, you end up with two sections to build instead of one. Both new sections keep the odd-even type of the original section. One section can only be cut up in half once. If there are no more unbuilt sections to cut up in half, then you can use the planning action without having to be subjected to this penalty. Energy action. With this action, you can upgrade one of these four fields: the result of your accomplished missions, the plant and water research tower, the efficiency of your astronauts, and of your dome. For that purpose, cross off one scoring box in your scoring area of your choice at the bottom of your sheet. You must cross off the boxes from top to bottom. The field of the plant and water tower has a triple scoring area. With one energy action, you cross off all three boxes at the same level. The missions and the astronauts follow the same logic with double scoring area. Cross off both boxes at the same level. In this adventure, the missions earn you points that you can upgrade with the energy action. The first players to accomplish a mission circle the star symbol on the corresponding scoring space, either A, B, or C. The other players can then only circle the sun symbol. At the end of the game, in addition to penalty points lost for system errors, tally up your points in each scoring area as follows. Missions. For each accomplished mission, depending on whether you have circled the star or sun symbol, write down the lowest visible value of the corresponding scoring area. Plants and water. In the plant and water research tower, you will have levels with 1, 2, or 3 circled symbols, plant or water, In the first scoring column, write down the number of levels with only one circled symbol. In the second scoring column, write down the number of levels with 2 circled symbols. In the third scoring column, write down the number of levels with 3 circled symbols. In each column, multiply the number of levels you just wrote with the lowest visible value. Skyscrapers. Write down and add up the bonuses earned with the highest and lowest levels of the skyscrapers. Astronauts. Those who have crossed off the most astronauts earn the lowest visible value in the first scoring column. The others earn the lowest value of the second scoring column. You do not earn or lose any points if you have not crossed off at least one astronaut. The dome. You lose points if your dome is not finished. Write down the number of unbuilt sections of the dome and multiply this number with the highest visible value. Subtract those points to your score.